Hi, my name is David Montague. Welcome to North East Management Academy Limited, otherwise more commonly known as NEMA. I wanted to greet you today personally because I wanted to introduce you to our business and get you to try to understand what makes us so different. Now, I know you've heard this all before from every provider out there. Let's face it, it's one of those most famous lines from any salesperson, isn't it? What makes us so different? We are very different, etc., etc. We've heard all this before. We are very different, and I'm going to tell you exactly how we're very different. We're very different because first and foremost, we put you in control and we keep you in control. So how do we do this? Well, with our systems, you get your own login. So whether you are the line manager of a particular individual learner, or whether or not you're the person who has overall responsibility for all learners across your business, you will have your own individual learner login. So as an employer login, you can then see what your learners or learner is actually up to, where they are on the program, what their progression is to date, and you can even do a gap analysis to see what's outstanding. Furthermore, you can even read what the feedback has been from our learning partners. Yes, I did say learning partner, and I'll come back to that in a moment. Through you gaining access to this vital information keeps you in control. You're able to see exactly how your learners are performing and how that's going to benefit your business, how you're going to get that return for your investment with regards to their apprenticeship. So that's the first and foremost thing. So it doesn't matter whether you're a manager of a single learner or whether you have overall responsibility for all apprenticeships. You will have your own login. You will be able to see all the relevant information at a time which is more convenient for you, not when it suits us, the provider. Secondly, we put you in control on the basis of being able to decide as an employer as to what the learner is going to be learning when. So as you'll probably see through many providers out there, you generally find that they get to do Unit 1, followed by Unit 2, Unit 3, and so on and so forth. We don't do this. There are some fundamental units at the beginning and towards the end which has to stay in place. And the reason for this is because the first 2 or 3 units of a course tend to be laying down the foundations for the whole programme. So they're quite critically important to remain where they are. And likewise towards the end, that's really getting your learner and yourselves in preparation for that all-important endpoint assessment. So again, with this, it's about making sure that we've got everything in place at the right time. So what do we actually mean by putting you in control as to what they actually learn and when? Well, the rest of the units can be moved around. So let's pick on a particular subject matter. For example, I don't know, you needed them to know more about the legal ramifications with regards to the subject at which they're studying, whether this be recruitment, HR, management, etc. We can actually make that a first unit for them so that they actually know this stuff, they got the knowledge and they have the skills to be able to put that into practice in the workplace, therefore reducing your legal risks on day one. Alternatively, it could be any other number of those units that could be moved around when it suits you. So at the very beginning of the program, we'll get you to actually sit down with us and we'll decide collectively with yourself as to what gets delivered and when and in what order. However, and this is the clever part, even once you've decided that, if the situation in your workplace changes and you need them to know something more urgently than what was previously identified, we can still change it. It's not an issue. It doesn't matter. So again, we're putting you back in full control of your own learners and what's best for your business. Again, increasing that return on investment for you. Another way in which we empower you is because we involve you in every stage. And we do openly encourage you to join us at the beginning or towards the end of each of those teaching sessions. So again, you have an ability to be able to be kept up to date from our learning partners, but also being able to feed back as to how it's working for you as a business. And things need to change, we will change them. So there are a number of different ways in which we can empower you and keep you in control. I mentioned earlier about our learning partners, and yes, this is very different. We don't use the terminology of tutors or assessors, and no, this isn't just another buzzword. The reason why we use the term learning partners is because that's exactly what they are. They are there for your learners and for you throughout the duration of the program. They're there to support you in every way. It's not just about ticking boxes as to whether they've met the particular standard. Now, as you'll probably appreciate with apprenticeships, they do tend to work on the basis of a fail, a pass and a distinction. We at NEMA do tend to teach our learners at the standard of distinction. And there's a very good reason for that. If we taught learners purely at the level of pass rate, there's a 50-50 chance whether they pass or fail come to an endpoint assessment. It's not much use to anybody. So by teaching them at that higher level of distinction, we are almost being able to guarantee the pass as a minimum. When we're looking at apprenticeships, as I alluded to earlier, we also have the situation now that we have the endpoint assessment, the EPA. And for that, we need to choose the EPAO, the Endpoint Assessment Organisation. Now, these are separate from anybody that's involved with our own organisation. And we keep it that way. We believe in transparency and we believe in empowerment. So, to that end, what we tend to do is to, at the beginning of the program, we'll sit down with you and we will tell you who's available in terms of EPAOs. And we will give you our professional recommendation based on our own experience over the years. But it's down to you to decide for yourself at the beginning as to which one you want to get involved with. Why is that so crucially important to be done at the beginning? Well, this enables us to be able to communicate from day one with the EPAO that you have chosen. And that allows us to be able to make sure that when it's time for the individual to go through that process, everything is in place and it goes smoothly and quickly. There's been some situation with some providers in the past which has resulted in, once a learner has completed the program, then there's a 3-4 month gap before they even get to EPA because nothing's been put in place beforehand. As I said earlier, we believe in transparency and we believe in empowerment. So we will empower you to make that decision at the beginning, and then we will empower the EPAO to work collectively with us, the provider, you, the employer, and the learner to make sure everything goes to plan when it should. So what do we actually do at NEMA? Well, as you probably guessed, yes, we deal with apprenticeships, absolutely. But we do more than that. We also have other funded learning, so you can do standalone qualifications in many different subject areas. In terms of apprenticeships, we deal predominantly with recruitment levels 2 and 3 and 4. We also then deal with HR at levels 3, 5. There's also learning and development 3 and 5. And then there's also employability practitioner and also a careers guidance. We also deal with teaching, so we can actually get you through your teaching qualification. We can train a member of your team, for example, in becoming a qualified tutor assessor. We also deal with management up to level 7. So business management can come in a variety of different ways, starting off from the very bottom at level 3, and that goes all the way up to level 7, as I say. We also do a couple of other courses such as customer service practitioner, customer service specialist, business administration, and so on and so forth. But these are more in line with the requirements of an individual employer like yourselves, rather than us just wanting to deal with everything. So our specialist areas really are HR, recruitment, management, and teaching. In terms of NEMA itself, as I said, we do a number of other services. Another part to our business is a sister company that we also operate, which is called Apprenticeship Partners, and you'll see a link on the main webpage which you're on now, which will take you there. And that particular business deals with non-funded qualifications, so standalone qualifications, and commercial training. Now I want to talk to you very quickly about commercial training, because it's quite important. Commercial training, as if you were to take on an apprenticeship through ourselves, through NEMA, through Apprenticeship Partners, you're also then able to access heavily reduced commercial training for your teams. So what that actually means is, generally speaking, if we're doing an afternoon training session on a given subject, of which there are 31 topic areas, we normally charge £800 for that afternoon training session. If you have an apprentice with us, even if it's just one, you can then have up to 10 of your employees attend a training session with us for a reduced rate of just £400. Okay, so heavily reduced commercial training. So do have a look across the websites for both NEMA and Apprenticeship Partners. And if you do want to contact us, there are many different ways you can contact us, and they're all on both individual websites for you to be able to make it easy for you to contact us. Do feel free to pick up the telephone and talk to us, or drop us an email. With no obligation, we're always open to have an open and frank discussion with you as to how we can best meet your needs, if that's suitable. Thanks very much for joining me. Have a wonderful day.